Good morning, my people. Arsenal are leading the Mikel Merino race, and Merino is excited for the Premier League experience. Wataru Endo is another one into the mix, and you're going to be really summing it up with the story of Mikel Arteta giving Martinelli his flowers for hitting the ground running. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and who are you watching us from? It's a Monday, 29th of July 2024. 2 days left to see to it that will really put this to an end. I'm talking about the month of July. And obviously, month August looks like everything is really pumping up to obviously be spiking up in August. So please go ahead and obviously put yourself into those positions. We thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. And remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in phones, right? They are dealers in phones, new phones, brand new laptops, and you can also holler at them or WhatsApp them and inquire from them about their latest used phones and laptops from United Kingdom. You can as well contact them on on X, Mono Gadgets. That's where you find them. Mono as in MUNO, then Gadgets. Then you'll obviously have a look at the products they really have in their showcases that you guys will really enjoy. All else, WhatsApp them on +256 70 99 88 665. That is Mono Gadgets for you, and they're here for your service. Yesterday, we brought you a story from Fabrizio Romano confirming to us that the side of Arsenal is willing to advance its talk with Merino this week, and that comes after Arsenal having a huge plan to obviously get everything up and running into the mix. Now, after that, we have gone ahead to get a story from Matteo Marchetto. You know, they are really good when it comes to transfers, and if at all you've been following them up, you obviously know what they can do, and most of the things they say really come to pass. And they've come out and obviously told us the following, that Arsenal are leading the race for Mikel Merino's signature. Real Sociedad now consider the midfielder a lost cause and have given up attempting to renew his contract, while Atletico Madrid are pessimistic about signing Merino. Barcelona have informed Merino they are currently focused on other players. Arteta holds the player in extremely high regard. So that's what we are getting in through from the side of Arsenal. From the side of Matteo Moretto. They are really very, 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 very credible. A source from Spain, and they're really doing the needful. And yesterday, they broke a story of Mazurui agreeing personal terms with the side of Manchester United. And hours later, Fabrizio Romano came up and really confirmed it, meaning that they are really very credible, and when they come out and really say something, let's get to know they are really good at what they've gone ahead to say. So, Merino is destined to obviously come through and really play for Arsenal after resigning Ricardo Carafiori, because he's this kind of player who loves the Premier League, and other teams are like, they cannot really win this race. Barcelona, as I told you yesterday, have pulled out of the race because they are putting all their guns on signing two players, Nico Williams and Dani Olmo. And when you look at Barcelona wanting to sign Nico and Dani Olmo, it takes you back to the Barcelona that won the World Cup and won the Euros of 2008 and 2012, because that team of Spain comprised of close to 6, 7, 8 players from the Spanish national team. If you remember, Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué, there was Iniesta, Xavi, who else? There is Pedro. The spine of the team, there is Sergio Busquets. Close to 6 starting players into the team of Real Madrid of Spain, comprised of Barcelona players. And right now, if Gavi, Pedri, Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, you add on a player called Lamine Yamal, if Alejandro Balde heals, I know he's going to be the left back of the Spanish national team. You get, they are having close to 6, they will be having close to 6 players into the team of Spain. And Merino is one of those who's not willing to wait for him to obviously get the signings done before his future really becomes decided. He's like, the moment you tell me that you're looking out for other players, sorry, you're looking out to sign other players, and you should make me wait, that means I'm not a priority to your team. And even if you sign me, I'm going to be that kind of player that won't get into the starting 11 of Barcelona, because that midfield of Barcelona is hugely competitive. Frankie de Jong, talk about him. Ika Gundogan is there. You can talk about Gavi, Pedri, you understand? All those players are really hard to compete with. But Merino has a very good understanding with Mikel Arteta. Arteta's going to obviously talk to him and explain to him on how he's going to feature into his team. So the player is like, let me go to the club of Arsenal. And Arsenal are leading the race. Atletico Madrid are like, oh my God, there is nothing we can do because we can't really compete with Arsenal. And Diego Simeone cannot really convince Merino to play for the side of Atletico Madrid, because the style of play is really very workaholic. You know, he plays pragmatic football as a guy, and you just have to know that Merino is not that kind of person. He really wants free-flowing football that is flamboyant, that Arsenal is going to hate to play. And Arteta has put in a very huge shift to obviously convince the player to come in through and sign for the club of Arsenal. So that shows you that Arsenal is leading the Mikel Merino race, and looks like he's really going to be the next signing. And by the end of this week, we might see Arsenal getting this deal done and dusted. For Real Sociedad, they really see this deal as one they have to work to, because it is seen as a dead one on their side, because they wanted to obviously propose a new contract to Mikel Merino to really stay. But him left with just 1 year. Him left with just 1 year on his contract. I tell you what, he's not gonna really have anything to do with his works into the mix. So that is Mikel Merino for you, and he's really doing the best of the best. Obviously put up the best of the best he deserves for the club of Arsenal, and Sociedad is willing to sell the player. And as I told you yesterday, they anticipated a bidding war if at all Barcelona and Atletico Madrid were into the queue to obviously convince this player to sign for them. But guess what? It's not the case. They've come out, obviously almost pull out, and the player is destined to go ahead and really play for Arsenal. And Fabrizio Romano has come out and really told us why the player wants to come in through and really play for Arsenal. He has told us that Mikel Merino is enticed by the thought of playing in the Premier League after have had positive talks with his agent, and he's currently their favorite target. So he's enticed to play in the Premier League. By the way, unless otherwise, a player is really looking forward to obviously coming in through and really play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. But I tell you, it's hard for a team to obviously come up and really put up interest on you from the Premier League, and you think of going to play for other teams. One will ask me, why is Kylian Mbappe not really at all in the Premier League? Because not even the Premier League felt like the deal was really worth doing, you know. But Kylian Mbappe, however much it's going to do him to be playing for Real Madrid, if the Premier League team like Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool showed interest and there was competition, I tell you what, he would have gone ahead to choose the Premier League team. Because the Premier League is the mostly watched league in the world. But Premier League teams never found it very, very affordable. And they never found it as a deal that it was worth doing. Because even a team that went ahead to do it is really struggling, because we are into the third phase or in the third year of the transfer of the financial fair play, you know, quarter, you know. You remember, they tell you in the financial fair play that you have to make a loss of 35 million every year, and everything is balanced off in the third year. And that means you can as well outspend yourself in the first year, second year, but in the third year, you have to match everything as it happens. So that is exactly what is happening for Real Madrid, and they're tussling it out to obviously getting other players, which is really hard because of signing with just one single player. And that's what Premier League clubs, for us one, said, all right, we are not going to do or let this deal really go there. So for Mikel Merino, he's enticed to play in the Premier League, and I told you always that Arteta will start bringing in Spanish players. David Raya was the first, now Mikel Merino is in, and is still looking at other Spanish players. And the huge question is, what of Nico Williams? Arsenal hasn't gone ahead to go in for Nico Williams. That is it. Like, put in a push. Like, they're going to have to put in for Carafiori and for the side known as Mikel Merino. Guys, look at Nico Williams. If Arsenal seriously push to get him, they can get him off Barcelona. That is it. Barcelona are really trying to collect money to sign Nico Williams, but Arsenal have money with them. And they are on top of that, they've gone ahead to add to make on sales. That is Arsenal for you. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time for the side of Arsenal to obviously put in a very big shift to get this done. So Mikel Merino to Arsenal, the rest is being led by the side of Arsenal. So let's go to the Marseille side. That is Liverpool. The manager of Marseille, that is De Zerbi, is an admirer of Wataru Endo. And Fabrizio Romano has told us that Liverpool rejected approach from Olympique Marseille for Wataru Endo before they signed Samuel Kone and Pierre Højbjerg. Talks around 14 million euros as James Purcell reports, but already collapsed weeks ago. Marseille are focused on other signings and other positions. Now, if there is one of the signings or the gambles of the season that were made by Jurgen Klopp as signings, it was Wataru Endo. Why has it gone ahead to be referred to as a gamble? Because when you look at Wataru Endo, he was a player or an alternative after the deal of Moise Caicedo fell through. Liverpool had gone ahead to make a bid of £115 million. It had gone ahead to be accepted by the side of Brighton, but the player said, no, I'm not going to go to Liverpool, after Enzo Fernandez told him that, please, better come and really play at Chelsea. So, Wataru Endo was the player they went in for I think 18 million euros. And everyone was like, who is Wataru Endo? But the moment he sat into that midfield, all the heart, all the engine of that midfield of Liverpool, lots of things went ahead to happen. I think Liverpool lost like 1 or 2 games where Wataru Endo had gone ahead to start. It shows you how good Wataru Endo went ahead, obviously imposed himself into that game, and Marseille like, all right, we want to take you. And Ancelotti is like, I'm keeping Wataru Endo. He's 30 years of age, I think. And I think he's going to be making 31 this year. But his performances are really the best that you'll ever want to watch and see, and really understand how good it has gone ahead to become for a player known as Wataru Endo, and how he's going to impress the manager. And for the side of Liverpool, I think they are really so much rich in the midfield with options. Wataru Endo, Gravenberch, Curtis Jones. You can talk about McAllister. So Basilai, you get. And I think the huge question is, what if they don't have Wataru Endo? Is Bajcetic ready to obviously come in through and do the needful? I haven't even gone ahead to obviously look at the squad of Liverpool that is really playing, and let me obviously get into, let me try. You know, they played recently, and I want to see how Liverpool fixtures. Right, I want to see whether Bajcetic was part of the team that went ahead to play when they really Liverpool beat Real Betis by 1-0. Let me see who was on the bench, because Bajcetic was not into the starting 11. All right, Stefan Bajcetic came in through, so that means he's one of those players that I think are going to impress the manager. And if at all you're having Wataru Endo and Bajcetic is the understudy, that is really great, because Bajcetic had gone ahead obviously get into the starting 11 of Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp in the season of 2022-2023, but he really got an injury and it kept him out for the entirety of the previous season of 2023-2024. But it shows you how good Wataru Endo has gone ahead to be. Last season, he went ahead to obviously win a trophy for the side of Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. And we are waiting to see how he's really going to team up with the rest of the guys to obviously get up and running. From that, let's obviously get into the side of Arteta, who has come out and obviously hailed Gabriel Martinelli for hitting the ground running in the game of Man United versus Arsenal that saw Arsenal win it by 2-1. And guess who scored the winner? It was Gabriel Martinelli. Arteta said, that's the mentality of the team and individuals. One training session and he comes in and plays at that level. That means that he's not coming here to get prepared. He's come prepared to show where he is, and that's a very different approach, and I loved it. Obviously, Martinelli looked like he had been sharpening himself throughout, because those runs he made and how he went ahead obviously burst into space and obviously scored that goal, it shows you that he came a prepared gun. And as I told you in the match reaction for that game of United versus Arsenal when it was done, that it is really very enticing, and very hope-giving, because last season, one of the players that really let Arsenal down was Martinelli. If Martinelli can come up and obviously hit the ground running and really be consistent like he was in the season of 2022-2023, I tell you, Arsenal will be one of the hardest sides to beat, because they'll be having the left forward with players that can score 20 goals a season. Two of those, that is Trossard and Martinelli. And you'll be having a Bukayo Saka plus another player who is a right winger that Arsenal is looking to sign, coming in through and obviously forcing in lots of things to happen. So I believe in Gabriel Martinelli. I love the player, very direct, and he's really one of those that when he's in the mouth of goal, he nearly misses a target. And I think Mikel Arteta is excited, and he knows to it that the player was struggling last season, and when he was given a chance, he has gone ahead obviously showcase us that he's really good. And I think it really does well to the guy called Martinelli, as people have gone ahead obviously say, let's get in Nico Williams. And I'm like, why do fans forget easily? If you tell me that you are getting Nico Williams to compete with Bukayo Saka, I will say you're right, because Arsenal doesn't have a right winger to compete with Bukayo Saka. But if tell me that you're bringing Nico Williams to obviously compete with Martinelli, yet you have a Trossard who has gone ahead obviously score very many goals ever since he came in through the club of Arsenal, then I don't understand your argument, because the argument should be Nico Williams to compete with Bukayo Saka, because on the left, Arsenal really has very many options, because even the likes of Gabriel Jesus can obviously thrive when they are being played off the left. So I believe that Arteta was really right. You just can't not be excited about the guy called Martinelli on what he did. He came off the bench and gave Arsenal the well-required win into the mix. Remember, we are powered by Mono Gadgets, and Mono Gadgets are dealers in phones brand new and laptops brand new. They also deal in what we call the used phones and laptops from the United Kingdom. Call them on +256 70 99 88 665. You can as well follow them on TikTok at Mono Gadgets in there for you, like MUNO then Gadgets, and you'll see a wide range of their products widely spaced in there for you to obviously go ahead and really buy into the mix. So I'm really excited for everything that is really happening right now about the deal of Mikel Merino. Looking like this week Arsenal might get in another player, and with us left with some days, I think this is 29th we are left with like how many weeks? 4.5 weeks to get these deals done and dusted, and we have to obviously pray that all goes on as planned, because Arsenal is left with 3 players: a midfielder, a centre forward, and a right winger, meaning that in the remaining weeks, Arsenal are really going to be trying hard to get these deals done and dusted. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I call upon for your reactions into the comment section about Arsenal leading Mikel Merino race. What do you make about it? Liverpool reject Wataru Endo deal from Marseille to obviously take him. And lastly, what do you make about Arteta hailing Martinelli for hitting the ground running in the game that saw Arsenal beat Man United by 2-1 in the 90th minute? May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, we out.